It's now Season 8 of our Building a Nation save with Czechia and currently in charge of Pardubice, and we are going to be off to the Europa League this season. We are on the 1st of July. We have done a bit of transfer business already. I think 2 players have joined the club, both of them, strangely, from Sparta Prague. For some reason, I don't know why, but we've managed to do that one. Obviously, like I said, it is the start of a brand new season. Last season, if we take a very quick look, I always click that twice. We jump back to last season and we go to the Championship group. We finished 3rd place in the table, 13 points behind 2nd place, but we are starting to become the best of the rest. We are scoring considerably good amounts of goals, I think. We're conceding reasonable numbers as well, so we're not conceding like silly numbers. Conceding 39 is actually not horrendous at all. Positive 23 goal difference is actually very, very good. We do need to obviously try and close the gap on Slavia and Sparta, but I think we are still a couple of seasons away from being able to do that. We do want to try and focus, however, on probably doing quite well in Europe this season. And that is because we are starting to climb the coefficients. We were 9th last season. We have moved up to 8th place now, leaping over Turkey. This season, we'll be losing an 8.85 from our coefficient, so we just need to do better than that, which we should be able to do. We've got 5 teams in European competition. Obviously, quite a few of them need to go through qualifying rounds, but if we can get to the Europa League, if Sparta and Slavia can both get to the Champions League as well, obviously that would be really helpful. But yeah, we just need to kind of do well. We are not actually too far behind Portugal. When you look at the numbers, Portugal have had a couple of bad seasons. We've actually done better than Portugal nearly both seasons, so we could get over Portugal. We are probably a bit too far away from the Netherlands, but those are the 2 nations that we are trying to close the gap on over the next couple of seasons. So transfer business then. 3 players have left the club on permanent deals. Manuel Pfeiffer is the first up, signing for Hertha Wels. I think in Austria, right? The Austrian fullback has gone there for £54,000. Also moving over to Austria, signing for Florensdorfer. I think this is the 4th or 5th player that has gone to Florensdorfer, is Yusuf Zia Ozkan, a player that somebody mentioned in the comments that we've got this massive Austrian striker. How's he doing? I've sold him. I don't think he ever really played for us. He might have got the odd game here or there. Nope, never played for us. Did really well for the B team, scoring 22 goals last season, but he's gone for £48,000. And we've also sold youngster Dennis Herzan to Slavia. This is one of those ones where we couldn't really control it. He was out of contract and he just didn't want to sign a new one. And I went, we'll just take the money then from Slavia. £47,000. He might be good. He might not be good. We don't know. He's only 20. Joining the club then, we have got ourselves a brand new young goalkeeper. Stanislav Gekov could be his name. 18-year-old goalkeeper, obviously not going to be playing a huge amount of football for the first couple of seasons. Signed from Sparta Prague for £48,500. And also signing from Sparta Prague is Adam Karabek, and a 28-year-old Czech international with just 2 caps to his name. Signed from Sparta Prague, attacking midfielder, right winger, central midfielder. He's kind of come in to probably be challenging on that right-hand side. We've obviously got Silagi still at the club, so he's kind of hopefully going to get him out of that position. And then it's going to be Karabek playing on that right-hand side. Hasn't really played much the last couple of seasons. £60,000 isn't a lot of money for a player who is actually, on paper, really quite good. So that's the business we have done so far. If we jump to released players and jump back to last season, doesn't look like anyone's gone, right? My brain was telling me Dudu's left. He hasn't left, he's got another year. From a financial perspective, we are actually in a very, very good place now. We are considerably better off than where we were. We've got £8.75 million in the bank. A transfer budget of £14 million. Now, I say this every season lately, I don't want to spend it. I don't want to spend silly money. I don't think we're going to be spending much more than maybe £2.5 million on one player. We're not in a position where we can start throwing money at players in order to get the kind of the best players around. We are still obviously trying to improve the facilities. If we go to not that one, we want to go to the board. They've done the stadium. I'm pretty sure I've asked for some more things, but it's not here. I've asked for the youth facilities and they've actually decided to do it. So that's hopefully going to be happening soon as well. So we are hopefully making a bit of ground when it comes to improving the squad, improving the club, improving the facilities, and all of that good stuff that you need to do in order to improve and progress in a Building a Nation save. So, without further ado, let's jump forward then to the 9th of September, which is when our transfer window closes, and we will see how we have kicked off the season, and obviously the Europa League, hopefully. Leaving the club then, we've got 3 players to discuss. One of them has gone for silly money. Dudu is not the man who's gone for silly money, but he has moved over to Germany, signing for Kaiserslautern for £14,000. Obviously, he was very good for us the first couple of seasons, and then we just replaced him with decent new gens from like Brazil or the Ivory Coast and places like that. So yeah, he's gone back to Germany. Hopefully, he has a lovely time. Joseph Svander has also moved on. He has signed for Artis, a player that we brought in a few seasons ago. Basically, he's actually played a lot more football than I thought he would. A lot of these times, though, are off the bench. He's moved over to Artis, £44,000. We've just kind of outgrown him, to be honest. And he is 30, which by all accounts means he's useless and dead to us. And somebody who isn't useless and dead to us, well, they are technically dead to us now because they're not our player, is Abubakar Sumahuro. He has moved over to Girona for £6 million. It's a lot of money, and I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100%, I'm pretty sure we do have ourselves a sell-on clause in this one as well. So we might get possibly up to, say, £10 million out of this deal in total. Joining the club then, we have got 4 more players to talk about. Edley Santos, first up, a 22-year-old Portuguese youngster who has been signed from a club called Villarreal, but not that Villarreal one in Portugal. He just came up on a scout report. I feel like I've got scouts who are doing stuff in Portugal. I'm not telling my scouts to do anything. They're just kind of doing their own thing. I feel like they've just gone over to Portugal for a bit, and they're finding me some decent youngsters on free transfer. So Edley is one of them. Probably won't play too much for us. I'm also pretty sure I hit my microphone as part of that, so apologies. Also, a Portuguese central defender called Rodrigo Quintais has signed from Waterford in Ireland. This is a weird one. £550,000, so I think this might be our most expensive transfer of the summer. But he's come from Waterford, and something weird has happened with Waterford. And I'll show you now. If we have a look at their senior squad, and we go to general attributes, is that going to tell us? Nope, we'll go to international. There we go. Sort by nation. We've got an Argentine, we've got 2 Brazilians, a Chilean, 2 players from Congo, a Costa Rican, a Czech, Danish, Democratic Republic of Congo. Steffi Mavrodides there. We've got 1 man from England, we've got a Guinean, 2 from Ireland, 2 from the Ivory Coast, 1 from Latvia, 1 from Libya, 1 from Mali, 1 from Nigeria, 1 from Qatar, 2 from Senegal, 1 from Gambia, and 1 from Uruguay. I don't know what's happened. I genuinely have no idea. Is their under-20s just as mad? No, their under-20s isn't. But I was genuinely trying to work out what happened to Waterford for this to take place. And I'm wondering, did they have like a board takeover or something like that? I don't know. But these are all transfers that have happened in-game as well. So if we go back to like the 26-27, like these are all these players. They've just bought them from all over the place, all around the world, and they've just brought them all in. They paid no money for anybody. Like I don't know how. I mean, they paid some money for some people, but yeah, they've just brought in lots and lots of people, and I feel like half of these have already left as well. But it's just weird to me, right? It's just absolutely weird to me that Waterford have just decided we're going to find just assorted people from around the world and bring them in. Anyway, Rodrigo, I'm not going to try and pronounce his surname again because I'm definitely certain I got it wrong. He's cost us just over £500,000. Brought him in because I think he's going to be good. He's still 25, so he's got a few years left in him. He's not going to go anywhere. I said this, I think, last season or maybe the season before, that the problem when we bring in lots of decent youngsters is they'll end up getting poached. We need to get players who are of our level and slightly above. We don't need to get players who are world-class or potentially going to be world-class footballers because basically they won't be world-class footballers with us, or it will be unlikely that they'll still be with us when they become world-class. We've also signed a 31-year-old, and it does make me sick a little bit inside that we've signed a 31-year-old, but Christian Gutierrez is a 31-year-old left-back, formerly of multiple teams in Spain. It is Celta Vigo with the team that we signed him from, but Las Palmas, Eibar, Malaga, Granada a little bit as well, Marbella, and also Vázquez Cultural. We brought him in because he's a decent left-back. Basically, we needed another left-back. We've got Gutierrez in. He's not going to be here long because he is 31. And we've taken a leaf out of Waterford's books and decided to sign somebody from a country which doesn't really make sense why he'd want to come to the Czech Republic, but we've signed Finn Stevens, who is a Welsh international right-back. At 29 years of age, he is on the older side of things, so he will be 30 before the season is out, but he's cost us absolutely nothing. Formerly of Millwall and St Pauli and Oxford and Brentford. He's had a lovely time going around the world. Well, I say the world. Europe. Playing in Germany for a little bit and now moving over to Pardubice in the Czech Republic. I think we've got ourselves a really good player here on a free transfer. This is good. This is what we needed as a right back. Since we lost Badara and Dow a couple of seasons ago to Inter Milan, we've not really had a good right back. Stevens is that good right back. So that is the transfer business that we have done. We've also loaned out some people. So we've got Matic, Bol, Latafa. We've also got Arslan. We've got Pavel Peter. He's gone on loan to Sigma Ulamuk, the player that we signed actually last season. He's just not getting a huge amount of game time. We've loaned out Jan Hrubs to Dukla Prague, so hopefully he's going to get some game time as well, because I think he's good. And we've also loaned out David Menzara to Vyskov, who always seem to want to buy our players. So that's the transfer business we have done. Let's take a look then at the competitions, and we will start off with the league, because we are currently top of the table. 8 games played, 8 wins so far this season. We have kicked off the season unbelievably well, and somehow we're still not even the top scoring team in the league. I mean, we are, technically. We're joint top scoring team in the league with 20 goals scored, 8 wins out of 8. We could not have hoped for a better start. And we are still in the FA Cup, although I think we start in the 3rd round. So, yeah, don't read too much into that. I'd like to win this again. Obviously, we did win it a couple of seasons ago. I'd like to win it again. But the main thing that we should be looking to do this season, and that is to do well in the Europa League. We are obviously into the league phase. It's actually kicked off, but we haven't played any games just yet. If we jump to our fixtures, you can see we did have to play through one qualifying round against Slovan Bratislava, which we absolutely dominated. A 5-1 win and a 3-0 win. So obviously, coefficient points coming our way. And then we have Molda, we have Braga, we have Borussia Dortmund. Not going to be an easy one, that one. Dinamo from Croatia. We've got Real Betis. We have First Vienna FC, Besiktas and Spurs. Who are First Vienna FC? I have never heard of these guys, but fair play. This is where someone in the comments say they're only like the biggest club in Austria, and I have no idea who they are. By the way, we do have on like the Austrian league, so I can see where they are playing and how well they're doing. So we've got a lot of leagues on. If you want to have a look there, you can see all the leagues. So we've got Austria, we've got Czechia, we've got England, we've got France, Germany, Italy, Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Slovakia, Spain, Switzerland. I think that is all of them. I basically picked the ones that are nations nearby to Czechia, and also obviously the big nations as well around Europe. So that's the leagues that we've got. The last thing to do then before we jump to the end of the regular season is to just have a look at the players that we are locking in, and it is only Iliev. I did toy with the idea of not locking Iliev in. The problem is if he is not locked in there, they play him up front because he's actually a very good striker as well. So if we do best 11, I think Iliev moves to a striker. Petar is actually the striker. Iliev stays on the left-hand side, but obviously Petar isn't here. So who is the next one after Petar? Can we do that? Mustafa Lama. I mean, and then Iliev. So I think they put Iliev there for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, Iliev is going to be locked in on that left-hand side. Obviously, everything else is just up for grabs, which means our number 1 goalkeeper is also up for grabs. And it is one of these 3. I believe it is going to be Trabi as our number 1. He's played 8 so far in the league and 2 in the Europa Conference League or Europa League qualifiers. So yeah, Musa Trabi will be our number 1 goalkeeper. He's wanted out on loan, but that's fine. He's not going to go anywhere. And then Diallo will be our number 2, leaving Hapal as our number 3 goalkeeper, just sitting on the bench and probably never playing for us. Right then, time to go forward then to the end of the regular season. See if we can qualify for the Champions Group. See how well we can do in the Europa League as well. Obviously, we want to be getting some wins. I don't really care how far in the competition we go, as long as we win as many games as possible to get as many coefficient points as possible too. Well, it's now the 17th of April and the regular season has finished, and we have indeed finished in the Champions Group, currently sat 4th place in the table, 1 point behind 3rd place Slovan Liberec. Interestingly, Slavia are at 5th. They are the defending champions, back-to-back champions as well, and they are currently down in 5th place in the table. I don't think it's going to happen, but there is a chance, there is an outside chance that we could win the league. It's unlikely, because I think we need to win all 5 of our matches, which would give us 15 points, which would put us on 70, and hope Sparta Prague, Dukla Prague don't win 2 matches. So it's unlikely, isn't it? Let's be honest, it's unlikely. But the fact that Slavia are not in this battle anymore means this is a little bit closer than we've seen in previous seasons. If we go back, that's the relegation group. I don't care about that. 81 points is what Slavia finished on last season. They are not there this season. That's not worked. Championship group, there we go. I mean, Sparta Prague can only finish on 80 if they win all of their games. It's a bit closer this season around by the looks of it. Every time in April now, by the way, when I come back, I have to check this just in case somebody has triggered a minimum fee release clause, because sometimes it happens and I just don't know it's happened. So yeah, just double checking no one's gone over January this season. I do want to have a look as well at the clauses while we're here. So with Sumahura. We don't have a 50% sell-on, but we do have with Arcilla, and it's currently worth £1.4 million. It's not a lot of money. And Dow, we've also got one, and we can get 5.25 for Badara and Dow. That's interesting. Dudu, we can get some money for £4,000. Probably not really worth it. Tyler Fredrickson, we can give £725,000 off to Man United. Speaking of Tyler, have you got check caps? No. I'm wondering whether he's ever going to get any, and then I'm going to question whether this is a bug with FM26 or he's just not good enough. I imagine it's because he's not good enough, but there's always a chance, pretty high chance, that it's FM26. If we have a look at his, he's not amazing, is he? He's not amazing as a centre back, but he's obviously in the squad ahead of him. So is this man. Am I looking at the right team? Am I looking at the under 18s? I'm looking at the under 21s. Okay. This is probably a little bit of a better thing to look at. So we've got Chechel, who's not amazing. He's not. No. Tyler Fredrickson should be in the squad ahead of him. Not ahead of Krejci, which is fair enough and understandable. Sebastian Pech, also understandable that he's not in there ahead of him. But he should definitely be ahead of him. I want to start a Get Tyler Fredrickson Czechia Caps campaign. I don't know how or why that's a thing that I want to do, but I want to do it. It's also interesting Pavel Peter is the only one of our players in the squad. Feel like we should have more. Maybe some of these players that have come through our youth intakes this season will be joining that list. The top one, the elite prospect, is Michael Luka, who is a 16-year-old striker. He's 5'8", 16 finishing, 16 determination, 16 flair. This one could be one to keep an eye out on. Physically not amazing, so needs a bit of work there, but the mental numbers are not horrendous. Work rate's pretty low, off the ball's pretty low. It's the determination. I'm hoping that's kind of high enough to drag some of these numbers up, and obviously the technical finishing really high, first touch really high, passing as well really high for a 16-year-old. Old Mickey Lukes could be good. Mickey Lukes. I can't even imagine anyone in Czechia who's called Mickey. But anyway, that's what we've gone with. Robert Jarosik as well. Central defender, 16 years of age. Mentally looks pretty good as well. Nice natural fitness of 16. Technically is kind of lacking in places. We are trying to play a tiki-taka style, so the 5 passing, not really ideal. And going on the theme that we seem to do now every youth intake is finding players of non-Czech nationality. So we've got Papian, who is an Armenian striker, who actually doesn't look awful. It doesn't look amazing, but it doesn't look awful. Anyone else who isn't from Czechia coming through our youth intakes? We've got that jumped all over the place. No, we've got a Polishman. Sorry, I'm not even going to try it. Not even going to bother trying it, and he's useless anyway. Elsewhere, we're also playing in some other competitions. So we are actually in the semi-final of the Czechia FA Cup. I'm going to assume it's the FA Cup. We're up against Slavia Prague, so it's obviously not going to be the easiest of ties to get past those. Victoria Pilsen versus Mlada Boleslav in the other one. If we can get past Slavia, we have a chance to win our second ever trophy in charge of Pardubice. And if that doesn't go to plan, we've made it to the Europa League semi-finals, so maybe we could win that one instead. We are up against Spurs. Girona versus Famalesial could be their name in the other semi-final. So how do we manage to get this far? So the league phase, we finished way down in 19th place. 3 wins, 1 draw, 4 defeats. Not particularly great. Spurs winning the group. Then it means we go to a playoff round, which is actually not terrible because it means we get to play a couple of extra fixtures, beating Braga 7-6. So it was a 3-3 draw and then a 4-3 victory. So again, picking up some coefficient points there. Round of 16, Sparta Prague, an all-Czech round of 16 match, a draw and a win for us. I think we probably would have preferred 2 wins. I don't know. Because I don't know the exact numbers, but let's say for a win you get 3 points. If coefficients for a draw you get 1 point, it means we've only got 2 points rather than 3 for the entire nation. I don't know whether that's true. I might be making up utter nonsense. Then in the quarterfinal, we absolutely dominate against Real Betis, beating them 4-1 and I'm assuming 1-0, which is, again, double points for the coefficients into the semi-final where we play Spurs, obviously, twice. I'd like to win both of them. I'd like to win one of them. I don't think we're going to be winning the Europa League. Well, there's only one way to find out, I guess, and that is to go to the end of the season and see the results. Maybe we might jump straight into a highlight of a final. Let's find out. It is the Czech FA Cup final. Pardubice versus Victoria Pilsen. We are 16 minutes into the game. Pardubice coming forward with the ball. Zenli finds Iliev on the right-hand side, who's just taken the corner. Finds Silagi, and the Romanian blast the ball into the back of the net. We take the lead in the FA Cup final. Can we win our second ever FA Cup in charge of Pardubice? On to the 24th minute now. Pardubice coming forward with a ball, losing out though. Storman collects it for Victoria Pilsen. Now Panos, left-hand side. Are they going to go down the line? They do. They find Jirajang. Not even close to probably how that's pronounced. I'm not even going to try. Zlejkovic? Maybe. Could be its name. Panos is there. Puts it past Musa Trabi. It is 1-1. You'd think for a cup final there might be a few more people in attendance, but apparently it's not a sellout. Nobody really cares for this competition in Czechia. We've got a corner in the 53rd minute. It is Pardubice obviously coming forward into the second half. Benno finds Iliev on the right-hand side. It is now Macaulay. Benno on the edge of the penalty area. Back to Macaulay. Back to Benno. We need to get the ball forward. Macaulay still trying to find somebody. Gets it back to Benno. Loads of space on the left. Or we go all the way back to Christian Gutierrez, the Spaniard who's gone all the way back to Trabi, who is not really in goal at this point, is he? He's on the halfway line. Macaulay with the ball. What's happening in this highlight? Pardubice, Victoria Pilsen 1-1 currently. Karabek to Finn Stevens, the Welshman. Macaulay on the right-hand side. We're going to pass it all the way back, probably to the goalkeeper. Philippe Dojal. Benno forward, finds Karabek. Lots of passing. This highlight's going on forever. It's been like a minute and a half at this point. We're still just passing it around the back, by the way. You're not really missing anything. We've now found Eisman, who finds Salagi, who finds Eisman, who finds Salagi. In the middle, we've got some options. Lama is there, and Lama makes it 2-1 to Pardubice. But it is not over there. The 64th minute, we've got Pardubice coming forward on the right-hand side. On the halfway line is Lama. Karabek in the middle. I feel like this highlight's going to go on forever, because it's gone all the way back now to the Victoria Pilsen goalkeeper, Andreev, who's gone for a big lump upfield. It is going to be Fredriksson heads forward. Benno can't quite get there now. Adu Kwabena finds Ballet on the right-hand side. It might be Ballet. I'm going to call him Ballet. It just seems a little bit more fancy. Ballet on the right-hand side. He's got three options in the middle. It's saved, but Jirajang makes it 2-2. It is now on a knife edge. What way is this final going to go? Just a few minutes later, and we have what is going to be the final highlight of the highlights package. Currently, Pardubice have the ball inside their own half. It is Karabek on the left-hand side. Now Benno in the middle. We're going to just try a big lump upfield or pass it around. Should be passing it around. We are trying to play tiki-taka football. Macaulay to Benno. Loses out. Adu Kwabena finds Ballet on the right-hand side. Is it going to be a very similar goal to the second goal for Victoria Pilsen? And are they going to be the team to lift the FA Cup? The cross comes in. It's taken a wicked deflection. Fredriksson, I think, blasts it into Jirajang. And Jirajang makes it 3-2 to Victoria Pilsen. And they lift the Czech FA Cup. We made it all the way to the final, but unfortunately we could not do it. We've missed out our chance. We've missed our chance of winning the Czech FA Cup. I'm not going to show you the highlights of this one, but we've also missed our chance of winning the Europa League. We lost 4-1 and then 2-0 against Spurs in this one. And then in the Czech Premier Division, where did we finish? Why can't we click on this? Why is that not letting me click on it? Can I click that one? There we go. Where did we finish in the Championship group? It was 4th place. So Europa Conference League, because obviously we lost to Victoria Pilsen in the final, which means they get Europa League. So 4th place gets us just Europa Conference League this time around. Before we end this season, then, I do want to have a quick look at the goal scorers, and Iliev's got 31, which is absolutely insanity. We're going to click on Adam Karabek in his debut season playing for Pardubice. Done really well with 22 assists, 8 goals, which is not obviously amazing, but I imagine he's been playing kind of a few different positions by the looks of it. Mostly right winger, sometimes in the middle as well, which is a position that I guess he can play, so that's not too bad. Mustafa Lama next up, our main striker by the looks of it. 19 goals across all competitions, 10 assists as well. Probably his worst performance though in the league. By probably, definitely his worst performance, but he didn't play as many games, although he did play 28 in the first season and scored 21. Played 28 this time around and only scored 9. Somewhat surprising second place for me is Besfort Zanelli, the now 30-year-old Swedish international. 26 goals in all competitions from central midfield. That's ridiculous. 26 goals, 16 assists. That's kind of mad, right? I'm assuming he's playing central midfield as well, right? And he hasn't scored for ages. Didn't score for most of April or any of May. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Were they penalties? Was it a lot of penalties? No, just the 4 penalties in total. So 22 goals from a central midfielder is ridiculous. And then obviously it gets even more ridiculous with Nikola Iliev as our top goal scorer with 31 goals, 13 assists, playing on that left-hand side because he was locked in. Again, hasn't scored since the 14th of April. No, he has. Okay, I'm lying. So he has scored a couple of goals. We had a horrendous run of form there, didn't we? Losing the cup final. Not the cup final, that's the cup final. So we lost against Victoria Pilsen. We then lost to Spurs, drew with Slavia, lost to Spurs, lost to Sparta, lost to Victoria Pilsen, all in kind of a very short space of time, which is kind of what ruined our season a bit. It is interesting as well to see that Moussa Trabi was our number one goalkeeper for the entire season. He was not locked in at all. He just played every single game. Did concede 88 goals. That's a lot of goals. But I'm pretty sure at the start of the season he was 2-star current ability. Now he is 3-star current ability with 4-star potential. So he is improving. Think we might need to get ourselves a better goalkeeper though, maybe next season. Because I feel like this is part of the reason why we're not managing to get too much further up the table, is our defensive record. We are scoring goals, scoring a lot of goals, but we're also conceding a lot as well. Last thing to mention, by the way, the board are expanding the stadium. I said to them, hey, guys, can you make it bigger? And they went, okay, we'll do it. So, yeah, they are making our stadium even bigger. It's not very big in the first place, but making it even bigger from the 9,000. That's not the stadium. I would love to be able to find our actual stadium, not the one we're currently playing in because our stadium's under being fixed or whatever, but it's going from like a 7,500 capacity stadium to possibly 9,000 capacity, which is still absolutely tiny considering we are playing European football pretty much every season at the moment. The last thing I want to do then is take a look at the coefficients for the season, and it is definitely broken. It's definitely broken because we've dropped down to a 5.0, but I feel like we might be able to get ahead of Portugal for two reasons. We got to a Europa League semi-final, but also they're losing nearly a 12-pointer. We're losing just an 8.85. So there's a huge, huge swing there. I think we might be 7th place at the start of Season 9.